Mark, a point at the death, what's your initial feeling?
Look, I feel as if we nicked the point. From a player that Ben Stevens, he was in the right place at the right time. He was actually injured after about 15 minutes in. He caught his heel, but we made all 3 substitutions. So we played over 35 minutes with 10 men. I think that was pretty obvious, but we put Big Josh up top and Ben was in the right place, hobbling, and he managed to get it over the line. So, as I say, the last home game where it was 2-2 with Hereford, I felt as we were good for the win. Today, I think we've nicked that point.
It was a struggle, wasn't it, at times? It seemed, in a way, I don't know, back to you, but at times it felt like a bit of a pre-season friendly.
I think it certainly did. I can't put my finger on it, I'll have to watch it back, but I know we're a fit side, but when you go to Chester away and Curzon away in the same week, I think it just had that little feel about it where we were off the pace slightly. I thought in the first half Gloucester picked up too many second balls for my liking, and that's why I made the 2 changes. I wanted us to play more, and we started the half bright. Then Manny comes off, and then Ben's obviously had to stay on the pitch, and fair play to him, because we were playing with the 10 men there, but he got the goal in the 99th minute, I think it was.
Things did start to happen, certainly at the start of the second half, but again it just petered away.
Again it petered away, but I think the injury had a big part of it. We had to stick him out on the right side, the right wing, and make Josh do 2 roles as such. But credit to Jordan, who worked his socks off. He was without getting any real joy in behind, he was working really, really hard, and he got us up the pitch towards the end, and they were creating those chances, so that enabled us to get big Josh Coulson up top, and he nearly scored on the 90th minute, and I think he was involved in the knockdown before Ben's goal. But look, we aren't happy with performance. I didn't go in there shouting and ranting, because the lads know that isn't the standard they should be setting. I've worked with them now for pre-season, and this is the 4th game, and that's probably the flattest we've been. I think that's the best way to say it. I think we're flat. They're all trying, they're all working hard, but it was one game too much in a week, I think, or this early in the season.
Is it fatigue, lack of belief at times? Because what do you think has changed all of a sudden? The zip seems to have gone a little bit.
Yeah, probably. I think when we started the second half, there was that belief because Barrett and Stevens come on. We changed the system slightly today because we've went down 4 times now. I'm really not happy about that, losing the lead early in some games, and today it looked like a borderline offside. We've watched it back, and I think he is offside. And for how poor we've been, they've had that chance, and Ronnie's had nothing to do second half. On the flip side, we're at home. We should be creating more. We should be getting more bodies in the box. We should be working there, keeping more. So I think it's a day not for ranting and raving. We're only 4 games in. It's 1-1 at home. I think we just take some positives out of it.
I did see you have a word with the assistant after the goal.
Yeah.
What was his explanation?
When you're playing a back 3 and the big man ran across Josh Coulson in the middle, he was certain he was offside. Even the forward thought he was offside. But he said Adam Crowther on the right kept him on, but we've watched it back, and he's offside. Look, there's no bones about it. But I want to see us react off that. Their midfielders got in front of our midfield, and he slotted it in, and Ronnie had no chance. So I'm not going to moan about that. But we've shown character again when we thought it was over. As I said, Ben has nicked the side a point.
Yes, sometimes things don't go for you, but for once a loose ball did end up at Ben Stevens' foot, fortunately.
It did. He made a great clearance off the line, didn't he? And I turned round to Wits, and then bump. It was like a pinball. It went in the second one. And yeah, it was literally the last kick of the game, was it? So that's a positive to go away from it, because we've kept fighting and fighting. But yeah, there's certainly lots of work to do. We're not going to rest on laurels there, and I think that's a good point. It's not a good point, because at home we should be beating teams. I'm not being disrespectful of Gloucester, because they'd obviously come here last year and got good points on us, but we should be better than that at home.
It's not as good as a win, obviously, but it can make a big difference, isn't it? Not coming off the pitch, having been beaten, to get that late goal, nicked it as you said.
Yeah, I mean, Gloucester set up brilliantly, and Big Wright was harmful, and they've got really experienced staff with Tim Flowers as well, and guys behind us. They knew what they're doing. Their game plan was really, really good, but I expect us to impose our game a little bit more. It'll lead into a week now where we're not going to stop working. Honestly, we're going to have a friendly game on Tuesday, because it'll give players more minutes. I still think 5-6 games in we'll get our fitness. and I want us being stronger than that. I think that's the word. We can learn from that. We need to be stronger as a group. And yeah, we've got another tough away game in Chorley next Friday night. We'll go over and stay over, and then 3 days later we've got Alfreton, so it'll be a good squad game. And as I say, we were a little bit forced today with our changes, but hopefully we'll need the whole squad for Saturday and Monday.
Bemoaning injuries before the game, but you're picking up more. I mean, it's been a torrid start in that degree.
Yeah, it has. As I said, we had a tough start with the teams we played, the travel we played, but they're not major injuries, so I'm not too concerned, Nick. You know, we run with a 20-man squad. 3 are usually out. It sounds stupid. We were 2 goalkeepers out, and then we picked up a few today, but they'll get assessed on Monday. And you know, we've got people that didn't get on the bench that could easily start, just didn't get off the bench. Sorry. So look, as I said, we'll assess it. We'll watch it back Monday, and by Tuesday we'll move on.
You're saying that the honest guys, are they in there at the end saying that that's not good enough, even though we got a point?
Yeah, we left at 5 minutes like we do, and as a group they know, because where we finished last year, I'm not going to talk about it too much, was the standards were a lot higher. But it's early days, it's so early, 4 games in, we've had 3 draws and a loss, which was 2 mistakes, possibly 3 mistakes against Chester, who finished just below us. So difficult start for me as a manager, but I've got Adrian Whitbread and Paul Jones, and yeah, that point could be a great point, because it could be a wake-up call for us that we need to do more.
You should both sides. You had such a great end to last season, but now it's not going your way.
Yeah, to get that first win, it took me, well, I won all 5, now it might take me 5 to get one. So yeah, as I said, there's been pleasing performances up until now. There's character in that dressing room. Yeah, maybe we might add one more. Maybe bring one up more in before next weekend, because you know there's a few injuries now, and the chairman's been absolutely brilliant in backing us with the overnight stays and giving us the players that we want. So possibly there might be a little bit of movement.
Do you think there's an area that you could strengthen in? For example, up front, you've tinkered with the starting two, haven't you?
I think that's the right word. We tinkered with it today, and we made changes at half time. Yeah, possibly.
Do you think with Q, follow your style and calling him Q, it's a young lad.
Yeah.
It seems to be a little bit difficult at times for him, and that's not disrespectful to him, because it's a hard job up there at this standard. Do you think he's on that learning curve that makes life hard for him?
Firstly, he looks older than he is. You know, he's still only 19, and his physicality is unbelievable. I still think he hasn't got his man strength until he's 21, 22, so he's going to be a really good player, Q. And he was working his socks off both sides, whereas an older player would know when to stand still and know when to move. And yeah, he had the chance in the first half. He done some good bits and some not so good bits. But I said to him and Sean at half time, I had to change the shape, and they weren't too disappointed, obviously coming off. But I felt like Stevens and Barretts could really make a change the whole tempo of it, and they did. And then unfortunately Ben got injured, and credit to him for staying on and getting the equaliser.
These little niggles, I mean, you could see that Adam didn't look 100% comfortable. I think
No.
Josh, you said, was probably carrying one. Ben as well, Manioki goes off. I mean, they're little niggles, but when you're preparing full time, they're annoying things for you, I'm sure.
Certainly, but I think every manager in the country is going to have niggles, and credit to the lads that played, because look, you've got to play with knocks, and there's a difference between injured and knocks, and there's certainly a lot of knocks out there today, and possibly if you've 2 or 3 playing with knocks, that might lead to the tempo, and you know, our style of play, we want the ball moving fast on here. What we've seen in the first 3 games without getting the win, but it's early days, 5 to 6 games in, I think we'll start seeing us kicking on, and I said that all along.
Is it a striker you need, a front man?
Yeah, of course, we'd like another striker. I mean, we had 4 last year. I think we're only running with 2 now. So, yeah, I would really like one. As I say, people are going to come in and out of the side. It's a squad game with Saturday, Monday. Just get that first goal. That's Ben's first goal. He'll hit the ground running now. Jordan got 2 in the first game. So it's all about just building it up. And yeah, I'm excited about next weekend. As I say, it gives possibly more people an opportunity. I'm still tinkering. We don't know our best 11 yet, which is a great thing, whereas last year I think when I come in I played the same team 6 games in a row, so that's a massive thing, and I know that. I'm trying not to tinker too much.
I'm going to say, do you know your best 11? Because you say you kept the same and you won 5 out of 6 games.
Yeah, but this year injuries have forced me to change it. So that was a big part, is touching what you said at the start. I've had to make changes, but it gives people starts. It gives people, 90 minutes. That was Jack Smith's first 90, which is good. He's going to be a big player for this year. We can't ask for miracles this early in the season, but we know as a group they're not happy in there with that 1-1.
Just ask about Cam. How long is that likely to be?
Again, he started 3 games in a row and he felt his hamstring. We'll assess it again on Monday, but probably 2 or 3 weeks. He done it on Tuesday. He's a massive part of in midfield, isn't he, for us? And we probably missed him today, but he's a few weeks away.
What about Paul Jones and
Jonah's
Tommy?
fit for next week, which is great. He had stitches in his foot, and Tommy's still another 3 or 4 weeks away. It's very strange for 2 keepers to get injured, and Ronnie, look, he's bounced back from Chesterfield, hasn't he? He's really bounced back. He made that great save in the first half. He's had a lot of kicks today. He's had a lot of long balls he had to do because they pressed us really well from the front. But yeah, he's growing and he's learning. He's only 18 years old, and it's not an easy environment to come into because we've gone behind in the 3 games he's been here, and we've managed to get 2 points in a loss. So when we get that first win, I'm hoping it'll lead on to others.
Hopefully you'll have your own band next time.
Yeah, that was a bit strange, wasn't it?
Curious.